Okay, thank you. I just heard word that my volume was adjusted slightly. Do let me know if it is audible now or a lot better. Ah. All right, excellent. We might be getting in a second commentator. Fairly certain, but for now, I'll be hosting it alone. But that should be fine. King's Pass, Crossroads, shouldn't be anything too suspicious from these runners. I don't think even the commentator's curse is enough to force any major mistakes in Crossroads here. This is a 12:21 patch, so we will be seeing stuff like lever skips. We will be seeing stuff like lever skips, inventory drops, etc. All the stuff that you can usually expect on this patch. So, Deviltifa be getting the good RNG on the Vengefly. MonStah getting slightly worse. It's a very small time loss. MonStah missing a jump already, actually. But again, all of these small movement stuff and small bits of RNG. Did he actually go for the soft fall intentionally? It's something I'm quite interested in. Looks like we'll have a 52 for Deviltifa and a 53 for MonStah. Both of those very respectable times. I can expect that neither one. Cursed pretty good. I expect that neither one will be quite upset by that. Well, 1 second difference in the first load of the game won't make a huge difference by the end of the run, I doubt. Where the differences will come, though, will be quite interesting. It could be something as small as boss RNG and an extra Umo attack, a few too many THK dashes. But I should be able to bring in a second commentator here. I think we're gonna bring in Sour Cream Supreme, a very experienced runner himself. I believe in the top 10 of the all skills category, so he should be bringing a great deal of experience to our commentary here. Meanwhile, we'll be seeing both runners go for something called the double spike, where they try to kill both aspids with one spike. Deviltifa misses it. MonStah going from the top platform misses it as well. Both of them getting a fairly solid cleanup, and yeah, they exit not even a second apart. 10 milliseconds apart. So that was one of the more excited. Oh, looks like MonStah took a small fall there, but again, still only a few dozen milliseconds apart here. Very close in the crossroads. I'm impressed that. Well, all top runners tend to have a very good early game from having to reset runs. But once you get into the higher ranks, smaller and smaller things cause resets. So the higher rank you go, the more often you go through here. So both of these runners I would expect to be quite good. And it looks like we have Sour here.
Hello. So I don't know what happened to Palm, but I guess I'm here now. Hello.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, it was a very early morning match to be commentating. It's
Yeah, I feel it. And meanwhile, I'm still awake, so it worked out perfectly.
Excellent. It looks like the race is about as close as you would expect between two top runners in the early game. Looks like MonStah taking a little bit of extra damage from the Gome run, but I think both of them might have taken one hit in the fall, the gross fall, and nothing else significant.
Yeah,
So
I think
that's about.
early game kind of doesn't deviate too much. It's like so optimized at this point. Like even like top runners are gonna be close to each other.
Yep.
Even, you see. Oof.
Yeah, probably the first major divergence we'll see is in that boulder spit. They can spit for either 10 spits in a row or give you the first spit completely on a whim. It should be a 50-50 chance on those spits, but sometimes it definitely feels a little more heavily weighted. towards the empty spits.
It definitely doesn't feel that way a lot of times.
I actually, I can take this moment to have a little bit of a theory, and that is that there's a lot of biases in psychology, right? Human biases, and I think that a bias we might see here is that because when we get first spit, we don't notice that that could have been a 6 spit or a 7 spit, because once we get it, we just stop thinking about it immediately. And when you get those multiple spits, you just have a long time to take in just how many spits you're getting.
Yeah,
And I
it
think,
probably feels worse. I think you're right.
yeah,
However, counterpoint, the the good brain juice that is implemented when you get the first spit is almost as good as it stays definitely.
it stays. That's true.
Like,
Though for some people, actually, it's more that they really expect that first or second spit, and when they don't get it, it's just upset. They don't get good brain juice from. They get bad brain juice from the missed first or second spits, and we get the first spit from
oh
Deviltifa.
my.
Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This is not what you want to see, folks. 7, 8, 9. Is he going for record? Oh my god. I believe tournament record was 10. And then he
Oh
gets
my.
2 spits in a row. My
Ninth
goodness.
spit.
What a
That's,
drastic difference
yeah,
between these two Balder spits.
yo, that was
Monster,
nuts.
I think that's what we call we have load normalizers, which, extends the loads to the longest period so that both of them end up even. I guess we could call that a PB normalizer. They see Monster's PB is a little bit farther ahead than Deviltifa, so
Yeah,
given
universe is working against him.
giving Deviltifa the head start. So he enters the Balder room at 5:04.
Yeah, luckily for Monster, he doesn't have to deal with RNG Baldur's twice. He can just insta kill this next one. And Deviltifa actually missed the first fireball skip. I think that was the hardest. Don't at me.
No, yeah, no, I would agree with that. I'm not a super experienced runner, but that's definitely the one I missed the most.
Yeah, for sure.
And well, Monster was about 13 seconds behind before that fireball skip. We'll see actually what the distance is at this next load. We have a 46 here. Looks like it's gonna be, yeah, still quite a bit behind. Oh, he takes that brief dip.
That Baldur spit really does hurt.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
still
time to
about,
be made up later. So
still about
early
10 seconds.
early on, it's like I'm an advocate for early game, although it doesn't matter as much as your late game, because late game is where a lot of RNG or how you play, like movement and like bosses and whatnot, which Monster is kind of well known for bosses, right? You'd think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you can really make up a lot of that time later. Whereas this is pretty well optimized because all you have is two things, uh, nail and fireball. So
Yeah, not too many different options for runners to react to, and well, when it comes to optimal damage, oh, Monster not getting the turnaround on that third fireball skip. Both of
yeah.
them hit that second fireball skip with ease, which is the most important one, but
Oh no, Mrs. Manpogo too.
oh boy, that's given Deviltifa quite the head start here.
Yeah. The thing is, like the last fireball skip, like the reason why I think the second two are easier because it's at the apex of your jump, you just turn around, but the turnaround is always the hardest part. Like
Yeah.
the turnaround, if you miss that turnaround, you waste a fireball, and it's rough.
Yeah, some people in chat seeming to be awed at the fact that, in fact, a top player like Monster can miss a fireball skip. He is human.
we are
Um,
we are human.
that is the most incredible thing about these top runners is that despite being getting these runs that seem to at least the naked eye almost perfect, um, they do frequently make mistakes, and it's the huge PB Monster going. I guess it doesn't matter, right?
As long as you're holding left, it does not matter.
Yeah, as long as you're going left, you can just go whichever route you want. Decided to say hello to Zote. Let him know that he really is neglecting him this time around for the sake of time.
Yeah, both get good RNG, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But what you were saying, I think a big thing that people some people don't realize, but I mean, PBs are not your everyday run. PBs are your when you're playing good, and you have that good successful run, especially like a world record like Monsta or like a what does Deviltifa have, a 52?
I believe so. I was going to double check on that earlier, but I was also just trying to check up on comms and can make sure that that was all working.
For sure.
But if 52:37 is his
Yes.
current submitted PB, he may have a faster time.
If I recall correctly, I did not see one. So,
All right.
um, so yeah, like those are just kind of not really outliers, but like definitely not your common.
Monster getting absolutely blessed Hornet RNG. She was just stuck in that corner for ages. No, he takes her out as soon as she hops out of that loop. That was pretty much exactly what you want to see from Hornet. I didn't see too much of Deviltifa's fight, but he does still manage to exit Green Path
Yeah.
significantly ahead. And speaking of which, I think I should be able to switch the audio.
Also, well, while you're doing that, we saw one of the first divergences from any percent where we don't kill Zote, Vengefly King and save Zote. We kill the Moss Knights instead.
Yeah.
Which because we need more geo than what Vengefly King can give us, and we will also see some different geo divergence in this split, claw split. We'll pick up some extra geo rocks because we need to get the great lockpick known as dash slash for early Shade Soul.
Yeah. On 1221, that nail art can be used to skip several levers, and as such has become extremely crucial to 1221 runs, at least all skills, where you can essentially double your damage output by buying one nail art while also being in the all skills category, securing a very early objective in the dash slash, as it is
True.
needed to finish the run. Also, I would like to ask you, I'm fairly certain what I've heard is that any percent did not used to do the Vengefly King, so I believe they would have gotten those Geo Rocks traditionally.
A very long time ago.
Yeah, a very long time.
Yes, they get these ones, and they get the ones next to there's like a full eater plant, or as I like to call them, the piranha plant, and
Oh, Deviltifa going for the
Ooh.
extremely swag E-Pogo.
misses it too, unfortunately, and then goes for Normie Pogo, which is understandable.
Yeah. Someone was saying Monster was throwing for content, but
No,
I mean, if I've ever seen a throw for content, that is those E-Pogos are so unnecessary.
they save very little.
I
but-
have to love them for it.
So if you remember where the final fireball skip room is, with the little platform that you always bonk your head on, you would go up to the top right and pick up those geo rocks there. At least that's where like I don't remember. There was when I first learned. That's the one that I saw. It was before It was before Fire's.
Tutorial.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what would happen.
Yeah, Deviltifa with that damage tank E-Pogo failed, is going to allow the gap to be shortened, but we'll still maintain that it looks like a 14-second lead, about even more.
Close to it, yeah. Yeah. Rhino kind of saying, what I kind of believe as well, like late game I think is where people can really like make or break a run. This early game obviously matters, and being ahead is obviously advantageous, but if you're better late game, chances are that's probably better than having a better early game, in my opinion. Especially with things like Hornet, like one cycling Umu, stuff like that.
That's for sure. I believe even in his record, Monster was saying that he felt like his early game was quite mediocre. In his record run, which is of course the first and only sub 50. So to be able to accomplish such an incredible feat while having a supposedly mediocre early game does demonstrate just the quality of a runner Monster is.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't fall into the pit that I do of early game resets.
Yeah, that's true. almost everyone tends to fall into that pit at some point, but
True.
some
Now, there's
top runners will still go for it and will still reset early if they feel like it's not satisfactory. But the amount of the practice that you get in a no reset run for late game is pretty irreplaceable.
yeah. Very good cleanup from Deviltifa. Like, I think only one Gruz was missed, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a very easy cleanup provided it's one of the lower gruz, which is why you want to start the first fireball pretty high to make sure that those upper gruzzes are not the ones that escape, and the ones that are close down to the nail range are, yeah, Monster getting the exact same
Why
RNG
did,
and cleanup basically.
why did he not get the wall cling store? It looked like he nailed it, but
Wall cling storage is a fickle
yeah,
this is a term. It's a fickle lover, I believe, something like that.
something like that. I will say that that's probably one of the hardest wall cling storages in my opinion, because I can never time it for some reason.
I mean, yeah, because it depends on when you kill the last gruz, right?
I have no. Well, yeah, I guess once you kill the last Gruz, that's when like the timer starts for when it can
Yeah.
open. I don't
So
know.
with such differentiating times on the last gruz kill, both runners, by the way, it seems like such a mundane thing to talk about in the race of this quality, but the shade skip is important. It is what allows
You also
runners
have
to
to.
get into the eastern side of the city at tiers so early.
Never heard it be
Um,
called Eastern Side, but that's nice. I like that.
yeah,
Also,
I
multi the
actually.
fireball is nice.
What do they call this side of the city? Because that's always how I've referred to it since my casual playthrough. I don't
I've always just called it right side.
right side.
Yeah, getting to right side, but like Eastern Side works just as well.
Fair. But yeah, Team Cherry were quite efficient in making sure that you can't actually get to the right side of the city from the left side. You do need to go around through some other area of the game. The Blue Lake is one possible area. Another is through Resting Grounds. Another through the sewers, and I believe the final one through the tram pass going all the way through Kingdom's Edge. But either
You
way,
said resting grounds, right?
huh?
Did you say resting grounds?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm blanking. My bad.
No, it's fine.
Just making sure.
I have an immensely difficult time keeping track of lists and what other people are saying, so you're not alone there. Um,
I believe there's one other. I'm trying to remember. Like Tram. I think you got them all. Actually, now that
yeah,
I'm thinking about it, you can technically make it to right side, um,
from
but
left side.
you need like wings, which I mean you already need right side access for anyways, kind of. So,
Yeah,
like the one where you hit the lever, um, where Lem's like where the fountain is, where Lem is, you can actually make it over there with wings. Rando brain.
Rando Brain Gober. Um, so it looked earlier. I was gonna mention that just a little while earlier we saw Monster get some pretty rough RNG on the Geo collection on the bottom row of the the first room in the city. But
King Station. I believe that's like above
yeah,
King.
right above King Station. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got some rough RNG on the Geo collection there. Didn't see Deviltifas. I will be trying to pay a little more attention to his runs since he is the one who is in the lead.
It's hard to keep track of both, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is mainly where like the main divergence from any percent. Now we're in our own category. Don't follow much. We get dash slash so early. Obviously, I called it a lockpick earlier. That is not. That's obviously true.
Yeah.
And the reason why all that geo really mattered is because it does cost 800 geo. Oro is not a cheap person.
Deviltifa does go for some interesting Geo collection, and I would like to remark when I said that Monsta did get bad RNG on the Geo collection, I wasn't trying to say he missed Geo. He actually made sure to collect all of it, but at the cost of some time. He went to ensure that every husk died, including the biggest one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It looks like he's actually catching up quite well here.
Yeah. Like people might underestimate how powerful little tiny movement matters because like all that adds up eventually, right?
Oh, it surely does.
I
And
believe
that is where I would expect Monsta to save the most time, because I won't be expecting major failures from Deviltifa, like deaths or such.
Yeah.
Or yeah, just having to heal multiple times. From other runners, I might expect that, but I think where a monster will make the difference are these little movements you're talking about.
I believe he does have community summa best for dash slash, if I am not mistaken, unless it's been changed recently.
Yeah, the
So
community summer best seems almost impossible to keep up with,
it's very hard.
especially in categories that are less optimized or more active. Looks like we still have almost a 10-second difference between these two runners.
Yeah, now we're coming up on Sanctum though, which is in any category that has Sanctum has a lot of RNG involved.
13-second difference is what the chat is saying. And Tifa is ahead of his PB, which I do think in order to be Monster, he is going to have to PB here, but
Definitely would help.
yeah.
Unnecessarily putting the elevator down.
Yeah.
For
I
convenience sake.
don't believe Monster has finished a race below 52 minutes yet. I could be wrong. Definitely haven't seen him finish a run that slowly, so yeah, to beat Monster would be a big ask from Deviltifa, but we've seen strange things happen in this tournament.
For sure.
With your race, your finish above this being unexpected from quite a few people, including yourself.
All right, don't need to call me out, but sure.
I mean, you said that you didn't think it happened, but
I had a play that day, I guess. But yeah, it definitely can happen. But Deviltifa is just obviously a tall order. Like, especially pretty like around what? Oh, he missed the fireball.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. You would want to either save that fireball. I mean, he cleaned that up really well. That Soul Twister can really troll you if you miss a fireball like that and just start teleporting side to side and either force you to use that last cast of soul, which you really want for the Soul Warrior coming up, or force you to lose quite a bit of time.
Yeah, he actually does not have a lot of health. Around like what 35 or something. 2 fireballs and a nail hit, I think, kill him. Base fireball.
Yeah.
So the extra fireball is not needed. It's just quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's 3 nail hits if you miss a fireball. Or sorry, it's 3 nail hits if with the single fireball that's hit. So if you miss it, it's 3 to clean it up. Some runners choose not to go for it at all if they don't have the soul.
Understandable.
Yeah, and then some runners will attempt to go for a double hit with the first fireball, which would mean that no cleanup is required and no extra souls lost.
Yeah. So both runners obviously picking up Shade Soul, a required item, and using that dash slash to obtain it, and now we enter Sanctum with Shade Soul, which is very nice for Soul Master.
Deviltifa not only getting a quick kill, but actually going for some extra nail hits, perhaps in case his second double hit missed. Or perhaps he was gathering soul for the Soul Master fight. Either way, he's going to come in to the Soul Master fight with 4 HP and a full bar of soul, while Monster's going to have a much harder time, it looks like, with the Soul Warrior here. Coming in with less soul and losing a bit of time.
Yeah, he decided to heal on the elevator, which is understandable for Sanctum, especially with this Soul Twister. Was like there.
Ooh, it looked like he actually dashed the wrong way there. I think he wanted to dash underneath.
Yeah,
that
still kind
Soul
of dashed
Twister,
at,
but
still kind of teleported in front of him, which is so unfortunate.
yeah. Deviltifa will probably be seen going for a quick kill, a fireball to the right and to the left.
I think he
It
missed
looked
the
like he
first
got.
fireball.
You do? I really thought he got that, but it's quite possible.
I could have missed all, but it really did look like he was pretty slow. What was that?
Yeah, that double hit is.
That was a very weird double hit.
Yeah, and we'll be able to see Monster go for that strat as well.
Yeah, Shade Soul really makes Sanctum significantly easier in a lot of ways. Monster definitely gets it. I must have just missed. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Much cleaner first phase, much better RNG. You really want in the first phase, you really want him to like dash across the arena.
Yeah. It's fun to the way that runners have abused this boss's mechanics essentially. Deviltifa finishing off Soulmaster with a little bit of extra soul, so he is able to get the heal before the full soul refill from getting the spell.
Oh my.
Monster destroying the second phase
I do need
of
to learn this.
Soulmaster with a much quicker strat. To be
Much
able
more
to kill him
reckless.
before the dives end is a huge advantage. It minimizes RNG as well because you just the Soulmaster can continue to dive for several attacks.
57 is when Deviltifa exited, and yeah, it's still closing in now, definitely.
Yeah, 4 seconds off from 13 just 2 splits ago.
Yeah, just that
Is
one. Just that one. Oh my god, what? How-
yeah, a little suspicious there. Getting an inventory drop instead of a dive.
It's very weird. But yeah, that Soulmaster fight, like I said, like boss fights, although RNG heavy, you can still play pretty well with them. Like
yeah,
mitigating that RNG really helped a lot, I think. With that,
yeah.
ooh,
Not only that, the much cleaner first phase, which, yeah, if
that
Deviltifa,
helps a lot.
I do agree that Deviltifa almost certainly missed that first fireball if that fight was that much slower.
He also
Because
got much worse RNG, I
that's fair.
believe.
Oh, right. What I was saying about abusing the boss's mechanics. So it's fun because a boss that teleports can often be very frustrating in games because it feels like there's nothing you can do about it. Um, and the Soul Sanctum features almost every enemy teleports other than the mistakes and the follies. But what's interesting about the Soul Master fight is they abuse that fact by forcing the Soul Master to teleport into a second hit from the fireball.
Yeah.
And it's some pretty big brain maneuvering.
Generally speaking, he will always kind of like or like teleport away from you. See, the thing with him is with a lot of the things in Sanctum is that they teleport, but they're still on screen. So they'll teleport onto screen still instead of like off screen where you can't hit them, which is super nice.
Somebody said he was intentionally storing his dash before he did the dive on the
He probably went for dash slash storage if they're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about yeah.
Dash slash storage is what I meant. Sorry. Storing his dash slash storage when we thought he had inventory dropped instead of diving.
Oh no, I was thinking that he just looked like he should have gotten hit, but I guess D Dark iframes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry. I was the only one confused there then.
It just looked like he was kind of in the middle of a bunch of mistakes and follies that just didn't hit him, but it was just
Yeah.
5 iframes.
Yeah, the iframes on this patch are quite immense. I believe on current patch they reset your iframes every time you cast a spell.
Correct.
And by reset I mean they remove them.
Yeah,
And in this patch they do not. So it looked like he had some leftover iframes from the last time he casted it and was able to use those iframes to cast it a second time without being punished.
definitely.
But both runners just collected a little bit of extra geo, not extra geo, necessary geo, to exit the city through the stag station. Costs 300 zeros exactly. These runners, I'm sure, know their geo routes very, very well, so was
Yeah,
not an issue for either of them.
the geo routing is pretty much all done at this point. Because once we finish up with Peak, we instantly work or save and quit back to a bench to kill Watcher Knights, and Watcher Knights carry a fat load of geo, like a lot. So that's enough for the rest of the run, essentially. Plus, like save like 2 devouts, which you have to kill anyways.
Right. So this next segment here is pretty high stress, especially for less experienced runners. For runners like Monster and Devil have been dealing with Crystal Peaks for ages now. I'm
Vendor Bug
sure that
Quest.
they don't have many nerves running high. Everything's cycle based, so once you learn these patterns to the core, there's almost no risk of these. There's almost no risk of messing up here, provided your movements are around are fairly consistent.
Yeah, a lot of cycles just means that a lot of practice, and but the thing is, most cycles, even though some can like be different on different ways, but like most of them are pretty identical in every single time you enter the room, which is really nice. So
hmm someone recently found a cycle in the first Sea Peaks room that we'll see here, the God Cycle room, that helps minimize RNG for the God Cycle.
I
Which
believe they dashed later or something. Like
they do a jump before a dash,
I
and
see.
we'll see Deviltifa go for Pogax, which is one of the least consistent parts of Crystal Peaks. He does manage to get that trick, so small time save there. I think we'll see. Monster actually skips it.
Yeah, considering that it is actually pretty inconsistent, where it can legitimately be impossible, and not because of how you play, do not blame him
Yeah.
at all. And if I'll be honest, like Pogax does not save a lot of time if you just don't even go for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it saves time over failing the cycle. Monster also doesn't go for God Pixel or God Cycle there. Perhaps
I think he
sensing a
messed up.
mistake in his movement. Yeah. If you make a mistake in your movement, there's no sense in going for it.
True.
So he does end up going around.
They clipped the Mender bug. Deviltifa got Mender bug if you did not see.
I did not see that. A blessed run, a sign of
For,
victory. Some could even say.
for sure.
It looks like he will have to keep running at such a high quality to maintain this. It looks like only a 3-second lead. So
Yeah, for sure. I love Peak. Peak is probably my favorite area in the entire game. Um,
Monster missing some. That could mess up his whole cycle, couldn't it?
it did.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Messing up on those conveyor belts. A rare sight. I think.
Yeah.
Considering how much practice usually goes into the split.
I
Getting
think
thrown off cycle means you're either forced to tank a lot more
100%.
damage or just you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, I believe the cycle up top there starts via proximity.
Yeah.
So if he messed up earlier, he was fine for the cycle, but just that one miss jump definitely threw off his cycle. Although not taking like any damage except for the one, which normally would take. Ooh, Crusher. Crushers are mean. So I think he handled it pretty well, albeit slow because wrong cycle.
Yeah. He definitely played it safe, and it came at the cost of what looks like at least 7 seconds. But with that Crusher mistake from Deviltifa, Monster, yeah, gets right through there. We'll be able to make up some time loss provided. Yeah, there we go.
Dark
A little
Room
bit of time saved after that.
can definitely be scary at first, but ooh, I love that wall clean storage. I go for it all the time too. Definitely could be scary, especially if you are rather new. But all the platforms do not move. Fun fact: when it's in the dark, so you can actually learn the platforms pretty well if you give it enough practice. And we'll actually get to see another very awesome glitch that we get to do in this run with Dash Slash. You do a lot of glitch things, right?
Yeah, I do. And when I first saw this, I believe my friend the Hollow MC, who is in the tournament, performed this. When I first saw this, I said, "How is that not a major glitch? Like, allow Televator, please. Like, what is this? Is absolutely ridiculous."
This is just animation, right? It's not even. It saves your animation or something. I actually
I
don't.
I have no idea. One of the most fun thing about learning a glitch category is there are runners who do know exactly how almost every glitch works. And just hearing them demystify stuff like that and explain it's some form of storage. It stores momentum or
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to hear, especially from people that are very experienced with it.
Mhm. Gidge providing us with the information that there are only 5 seconds between the runners now. So we
Um, I would assume
it's been
Devil
going
2
back
is
and
on
forth, but
left.
yeah, Deviltifa's been in the lead.
Yeah, definitely have been. They definitely have been playing well. Even with the bad RNG, Monster still has pretty much made up a big difference, especially with that Soul Master fight. But still holding the lead, which is obviously in and of itself a very big feat. Because there a lot of things could go wrong in Peak, like crushers. You saw him get hit by a crusher. I have lost more than 1 health to crushers on many a run.
Well,
So,
yeah, especially because when you mess up that first time, the crushers can go off cycle from each other, which to me is a little strange considering they start going at equal speed for one of them to stop and the other to continue.
yeah, the first
So,
one, the first top row, I think, right? Those ones
yeah.
get out of sync.
Yeah, and that was the one that Deviltifa hit. So he was able to recover that quite handily and
Yeah.
make sure that he knew that backup cycle. Not just muscle memory a double dash.
Oh, for sure. It's very,
Back
very
to only
close.
3 seconds apart, basically. 4.
Now, Watcher
No.
Knights,
Yeah, still about
Watcher, about yeah, give or take 5. But like, even though Watcher Knights are easier than any percent in my opinion, because you have D Dark, to do anything fast is still a nightmare,
Mhm.
especially when bosses have RNG. So you can definitely not,
Mhm.
like Monster can make this up if he has like good RNG, or Deviltifa can get an even bigger lead because of good RNG.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect either runner to take a death here, but it is possible just because
Oh, for sure.
once these dark spells are acquired, the Shade Soul and Descending Dark, the amount of damage output that these things put out is so incredible that to take 1 damage just for a couple of extra hits of soul is 100% worthwhile. So runners will sometimes take some extra damage just to gather the soul here. Deviltifa not having to have done that yet and getting almost perfect RNG,
Nope.
not quite. No, one
Horrible RNG. Actually, you might have missed it, but they rolled, or the first one rolled, which not allowing him to get D-Dark very easily. Ideally, you want ideally you want to kill both of them at the same time, so these last 2 ones spawned at the same time, and you can really start getting the damage cycle pretty quick. But yeah, that definitely hurt.
My bad on the call for perfect RNG there, but
yeah.
oh my goodness, yeah, Monster might actually be ahead now.
Yeah, the RNG really did matter there. Because
Yeah,
you can definitely lose just time just because they decide to roll. Because even though in any percent where you want them to roll in a lot of cases, because you get those doubles and triples if you can. In D-Dark, you want them to sit still, and sometimes they like to act like Sonic and roll away.
yeah, and even in any percent, if your soul management isn't that great, or if you've had some bad situations, a roll can still be bad if you don't have the soul to fireball or the positioning to get a triple.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this category for sure, rolls are not good.
Now this is most certainly a monster lead now. By about 5 seconds. Gained 10 seconds on him. Or them. Wow. Really did make a difference. Little out of sync, probably due to just loads, which just happens over time. Different PCs handle it differently, and I'm pretty sure even if 2 runners had the identical PC, it would still have different loads, and sometimes like
Yeah, in glitches at least, they found some sort of mechanic with RNG loads. So I don't know exactly what that refers to, but I've heard the term thrown around. It sounds frustrating.
does not surprise me.
Tifa is apparently still 35 seconds ahead of personal best pace, or at least the pace that we have on the leaderboards. Once again, I would not be surprised if Tifa's been grinding in preparation for this run and perhaps has a better time that we just haven't heard of or just hasn't been verified. He grabs a lot of extra soul and even takes some extra damage, perhaps after taking the damage, realizing he needs more soul to heal.
Okay, so unless they have a PB that has not been submitted, their current leaderboard time is their time.
Right.
I just checked.
Right.
Insider knowledge is great.
Insider knowledge. Oh, right, because you're a verifier. Thank you.
They just entered at the exact same. Oh wait, are we watching the same stream? That was
The
amazing.
sudden synchronization here is incredible.
I
The
was
timers are a little bit different, but it's still just
Monster goes for setupless, and
yeah.
Deviltifa does indeed get the setup ismas, so both get it.
Yeah.
Um,
Fumbled it a little bit, it seems. Definitely probably messed around a little bit longer than he wanted to.
I
Even
think it's slower to do. Well, I mean, he kind of lined up the setup a little bit slower than Monster just went because setupless.
yeah. So somebody once told me the real setup is just getting onto the right position of the wall. The real setup list is just getting onto the position of the wall correctly the first time, without
True.
any without any adjustments. But it's a pretty unlikely. It requires a lot of processing and forethought that probably isn't too worthwhile. Monster dashing across this bridge, getting good RNG, takes a hit at the end, but that's not going to matter as much
So
as if he had been hit earlier.
Deviltifa actually got bad RNG, but the first guy would not have hit him. The second guy would have, now that I look at it. But sea dashing from that pillar is such a nice backup. Getting
Mhm.
like actually stopping on the first guy is not as bad as the second guy. If the second guy is mean, it's a lot harder to recover
I
because you
see.
just have to dash.
Yeah. Do you know if that would be optimal then, to if you know that the second is going to hit you to stop at the first, or is it even possible to know that ahead of time?
I mean, you'd have to react pretty dang fast.
You
I
really
did
would.
see, but as someone looking outside,
Yeah.
it's just easier to see for sure. Um,
Right, right.
I don't know if it would be optimal, but definitely is a nice backup. I would rather have the first or last guy mess with me than the second guy, essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, coming up on Mall Lurkers, these guys, although Monster makes it look easy, a lot of it is RNG. You can do things to make it as beneficial for you as possible, but their spread is RNG. Um, you can do things to avoid most patterns, but almost. See,
Monster takes 2 hits. One of them an intentional damage tank. There is one Monarch that will always hit you unless you do something to mitigate it. I believe the fastest strategy is just to face tank it.
I
But
think
there.
since Monster is sorry,
Oh,
talking to myself.
I was just gonna say that I think that face tanking is optimal since
Is it?
eh,
That's something I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure, but I would assume that mitigation strategies would be more popular if it was optimal.
Strange.
In any case, Monster gets a very quick start to the fight, getting that early.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my goodness,
the
the
killer
iframes
hilarious.
lasting just long enough for him to face tank the dash essentially on 1 HP.
Yeah, could not
Oh,
tell you if he knew that or not. He definitely could, but who knows, honestly, because no matter how much you think you know your iframe, sometimes that one miscalculation. So who knows if he actually did plan that?
yeah, planned or not, definitely almost gave me a heart attack, but he maintains his lead. With a death there, this race could have been. I mean, with a major death like that, it would be what, about a minute and a half, and that would definitely put.
If not more. Well, actually, no. Now that I think about it, you get that bench. You didn't
Yeah,
open the thing. You'd have to go through Mall Lurkers all again. So yeah, about a minute, I'd say, give or take. I don't know the exact amount.
well, yeah, and then having to start with the lost kin or with the broken vessel's HP at full again.
The only thing you really get to avoid is the light seeds don't jump into him anymore. The fight instantly starts. So at least you got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Either way, Monster avoiding what would have made this race much heavier in favor of Deviltifa. For Deviltifa to have stayed within 20 seconds of Monster all the way through wings, though, is very impressive.
For sure. Matsu clawing back after terrible RNG and such too is also pretty impressive.
Yes, absolutely.
Bench here. Why would he bench here?
Yeah, that 8 or 9 spitbalder. I mean, benching here. Yeah, you would want to bench at King Station if you're benching anywhere, right?
I would think. Although it does make
He
sense.
does decide to bench
Yeah, both decide to bench. MonStahLer decides to bench at Hidden Station.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I think actually makes a lot of sense because like he can go sit at the bench while the stag is coming to you.
Yeah.
So
So just a small, I guess. If Monster was going for PB, I don't think he would ever go for that bench, just because a death at Hornet would obviously
be a reset.
leave him. Yeah, would obviously make you miss the PB, or world record, I guess in his case. But in a race, there's a chance that both of them die to Hornet, and if Deviltifa hadn't taken that King Station bench, that would put
Ooh.
Monster in the lead. But with both of them having taken that earlier bench. Ah, yes. Switching to Monster's audio. Now that he's taken a somewhat significant lead.
There was a really nice C dash in that room that he did. I actually think that it is technically faster, but super hard to pull off.
Yeah, I hear it barely breaks even if you do it perfectly, whereas
Yeah.
the other strategy is much
Could just be
easier.
easier though. All you do is C dash if you get it, obviously, on your couple attempts.
Monster
Synchronized
got
Hornet Blitz.
fairly early double hit on the start to his fight, which is what you want to see. Also, these D-Darks only will be coming out when Hornet is standing still. Usually not even while staggered, doing a needle throw, because even during a stagger, she can still jump
Ooh,
out of the remainder of the descending dark damage.
that was a very clean fight for Monster, honestly.
It
Um,
absolutely was.
yeah,
Devil will be hard pressed to save any time here. In fact, I think that window is already closed.
yeah. I tend to D-Dark more than most. I find D-Darking to be just safer. There's more times to D-Dark than you think.
Yeah.
But getting those doubles is definitely, in a lot of cases, faster because Fireball is faster. You can instantly start collecting soul and such as fast as you can.
Hmm.
We have to watch. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah. Only a 5-second penalty for missing the legal early control and getting an illegal version of it, but
Yeah, but what if he
Monster does avoid
PBs?
that. Yeah, but what if he PBs? That's true.
If he
Um,
PBs, we will not accept. Both are fine.
I think, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how much time he would have lost to gold, but I feel like world record range is already past us long ago.
Hey, you never know, okay?
It's true. He could just go calm sob every split from now.
True. Also, I think we did establish earlier that his late game does shine more, and that could obviously shine in his PB.
Yeah. But if his world record is anything to go by, that means we're only about 15 minutes from the end of this race. Hornet.
Oh, what was that? I don't think I've ever seen anyone take that damage from that bug guy. The what is it, Boofly?
Boo fly, yep.
He was really far to the left.
Yeah, fortunately probably not going to matter even if Sour or Deviltifa were to take that damage from the Bellfly.
Mhm.
But because yeah, they do take a bench at Dirtmouth, which we'll see Monster grab right about now. And they'll be warping back to this bench after grabbing Cyclone Slash, which not too much action in this split. It is a little movement heavy though, so if you want to go into that.
Pretty fun movement. There is a recent optimization. We'll see if Monsta does it, but Cyclone's kind of like one of the weird things that is kind of not along the way, and he does. You up slash here instead of just pogoing. It's nice optimization, honestly. I do it all the time.
Yeah, continuing that downward movement
Did he get C
without
dash
resetting
glitch?
your fall speed. I'm not honestly sure which glitch that is. Oh, do you mean face tanking a?
Or I
I
don't know if
feel
he
like
just
he
got
must have.
hit or he. Okay, he did get it. Okay, I didn't know if he just got hit because I was looking at the Deviltifa.
Yeah, it was a very obnoxious glitch where I believe if one of the physics frames doesn't overlap with one of the game's frames, I think
Oh,
that's the issue caused. Because people have called it one framed. I believe that's the reason behind it.
that's
Uh,
nice. Good
yeah.
to
If
know.
don't take it as
I'm not gonna take it as
confirmed
law, but
knowledge.
I
Yeah.
can definitely like. At least I have something to piece together why that happens. I believe you want a C dash to motto, but I'm not exactly because Deviltifa did not. I'm fairly certain you're supposed to. Either way.
Yeah, knowing the game's code is really the speedrunner version of lore.
In a lot of ways, yes.
Yeah, there's great mysteries to be unraveled in how the game works. It's interestingly enough, the overlap between physics frames and game frames is what can cause a super slide glitch to fail,
Oh, I
even
see.
if it's performed exactly correctly. Which it's already a frame perfect trick. It's possible for that frame to simply not exist.
Unfortunate. Synchronized loads scared me for a second.
Yeah.
So now we will be heading over to Umu. Acid is not our problem here because we do in fact have Ismus here. Ooh, I'm gonna be taking notes on these cyclone drops, honestly.
Yeah, MonStah's he I would say it's possible he even made his
Ooh,
stat sheet just to show off how many nail arts he does.
would not doubt.
He has his one of the columns of his stat sheet is how many nail arts runners will use. In some places, it's and Deviltifa actually going for a Cyclone Slash there as well.
Well, Monster did
But
the same. I'm actually not sure if that's faster than Axe's inventory drop.
Deviltifa deciding to go for wings, which would reset his momentum. No,
Let's see. So now we get to fight the infamous Umu. Uh, Umu can literally just decide to mess you up with RNG in a lot of ways. We like to one cycle him here. You can get enough damage on Umu with Shade Soul to basically kill him with one Quirl attack. So it's really nice.
yeah.
Um,
I would like to point out that without getting Shade Soul early, which I can't imagine a world in which getting Shade Soul later than Umu would be possible, would be reasonable, but without Shade Soul, you wouldn't have the wall penetration effect that Shade Soul allows for,
hmm.
nor the double damage.
So
I
anyone who does not know, the reason why we push Umu out of or off the wall there is he is out of bounds and nothing. Um, okay, Devil Tifa does indeed get it too. He gets doubled very easily from out there. So basically allowing us to basically double our Shade Soul damage. So you get basically 4 hits of Shade Soul when he's out of bounds like that, allowing you to get the one cycle.
Yeah. Current patch does have its own version of the one cycle, which must be done in bounds due to changes to either Umu or to the arena. But
Sure.
fortunately, I believe this version is quite a bit easier.
Yeah. Very nice. I believe on average it stays about 18 to 20 seconds if you get the one cycle, or like it loses you it if you don't get it. So
Yeah, every cycle being about 20 seconds, entirely dependent on how many slow attacks or fast attacks Umu gives, I believe.
about 32 seconds.
Or
Oof. Yeah. Uh, worth noting, it is definitely possible to one cycle Umu. I'm stealing that. Um, to one cycle Umu when he extra attacks you. It's harder, but definitely
yeah,
possible.
definitely possible.
I'm stealing that dash slash. 100%.
Yeah, so coming up here, we're approaching the end game. Only a few more skills to collect before going on. I mean, that was the end of our boss rush section, but only a few more skills to collect before
Oh,
finishing off Hera and then going on to the Hollow Knight. Um, Great Slash will be the first. Monster missing a wall cling there. Yeah, as well as getting some bad RNG on the jellyfish. Deviltifa goes for the same C dash and gets it. Will save a little bit of time there and at least a little HP. not too much risk in the next split. So even with Monster on 2 HP, there would need to be some pretty severe mistakes to take that additional 2 damage and die. He
Yeah,
does have extra soul.
on this split, I would not expect
Ooh,
too
he'll still
much.
heal though.
Yeah, I have definitely gotten hit there before. It's how do I put it? You do save and quit out pretty soon after collecting Great Slash, so that's basically a free heal. So if you definitely feel comfortable with the movement here, not healing is definitely okay. But being on 2 health is kind of spooky because if you get hit and then fall
Oh,
into
by
some
the
thorns,
Duranda,
if you fall
and go
into some
straight into the
thorns, you'll die.
thorns.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess there is Yeah, the 3 is really the safe number for HP and Hollow Knight, because while you get iframes every time you get hit, and you get iframes from thorns, if you get hit and then fall into thorns, the iframes from the regular damage will not carry through to hazard damage. So
Even if it
double hits
does,
are
you'll be
very
in the
freaking
thorns.
impossible.
So
That's true. No
I
way out of that.
yes, the double hits, or as I like to call them, and a lot of other people, the wombo combo, uh, can ruin your day pretty easily. Um, I saw a clip where someone got wombo comboed twice without being able to do anything. I'll have to send you that clip. It's pretty awesome.
Oh
Pet,
man. Yeah,
pet.
because there's an additional tick to the combo and C peaks potentially with the crystal hunters can shoot a crystal onto your spawn and
Oh
give you at
no.
least one more hit. I don't know where 4 hits would come from, but I have seen situations where you get comboed down from 3 health.
It was a Petra. I'll have to send you the clip later.
Oh, the
Uh,
Petras, yeah. There's a room coming up in the. I imagine it's the final room of Queen's Gardens. Is
it
that
was not
right?
in a run. It wasn't in a run, but
It wasn't in a run. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, we will be heading on over to Wraiths now. Our final base level spell. That was spooky from Deviltifa. This now in this split, you definitely don't want to take damage, unlike your Great Slash, where it's a bit more okay because we don't get a free heal until Hera. So taking damage here just makes your Dark Deepness harder, and we do in fact do Dark Deepness. We do not pick up Lantern here, because we get into peaks the Soulmaster way, and oh my god, Mansa is already scaring me.
Yeah, he definitely went for a strategy where he avoids killing those first 2 squits with the C dash. Even though I had previously assumed it to be much faster, it looks like he's. Wow, so he really just lured in those squits and then decided not to kill them. I would not be able to keep track of which is which. There's only a few squits that you need to kill in order to exit this arena.
Yeah.
But
Monster showing healing before Howling Wraiths, because every base level spell, fun fact, gives you full soul. So it's definitely optimal to heal beforehand if you want to keep soul for the next splits, which you obviously do. Um, Having more soul is nice, especially since you use what 2 casts for the arena, I believe, right?
so apparently Monster was calling the C dash cursed. It's possible because of that C dash glitch does exist where you can just get one framed by the
True,
squits there instead of dashing through and killing both of them.
true.
I
I
actually have had the experience where I've stopped my C dash and taken that hit, and it can lead to a combo of hits that's difficult to avoid. Oh,
whoops.
Monster making a few uncharacteristic mistakes. Deviltifa with a clean arena. Oh, it doesn't quite close the gap, but it's
Definitely
becoming
closed it a
closer.
bit more. Yeah, that was just unfortunate. I believe he fireballed the wrong way or too early.
Yeah, 20 seconds apart when I believe it was about 24 upon leaving raids. This is
I have never gotten the C dash glitch. Knock on wood.
yeah.
In the Squid Arena, I have gone in many other places, but not in the Squid Arena.
Yeah,
um,
I was trying to say that, Rhino, that I would never be able to keep track of which squits are which in terms of the ones they need to kill versus the one that came from outside the arena. In fact, I literally died in my last race because I attempted to kill a squid that was not needed to finish the arena. I did not know I had finished the arena, and I died to to an outside arena squid because it wasn't keeping
Unfortunate.
track.
Yeah. And as I said before, dark deepness, actually not as bad as what a lot of people think. Obviously, you do in fact need to learn it. You can't just go in blind, because if you do hazard respawn, you go back to the beginning of the room, which is kind of cursed.
Mhm.
So both runners seem to get through it all right. I mean,
A lot of top runners will have the muscle memory when learning this category from just having run any percent, they're already knowing what the rooms look like in the light.
okay.
Yeah, Deviltifa just one hit away from death. He can choose to just not heal here, which honestly I would expect at this point, just because needing to get an extra dream nail hit from the from a different devout would mean a significant time loss that from the way Devil's been playing, something I wouldn't expect him to want to take. So yeah, it looks like we'll be seeing.
That's
Oh,
a new
Monster
strat I haven't
taking
seen
a
before.
yeah, taking a damage tank nail art. I believe I've actually heard of that. Have not seen it. I heard someone talking about what would be a minuscule time save.
I did want to say, on the note of Tifa not healing, unlike any percent where Beastden is a nightmare, um, you really only need to deal with one devout, and
Yeah,
you can deal with the devout pretty handily with D-Dark and Shade Soul. So I wouldn't heal in this situation, but I also
yeah,
probably would have died. So
yeah. There because the devout can give you bad RNG if you attempt to dive it. It can just walk out of that first dive hit, or out of the
two nail
second dive
hits.
hit, I should say.
It's just two
And
nail hits.
it would be just 2 nail hits, but mistiming it and hitting the devout early could lead to situations similar to what we're seeing Monster go through.
Yeah, I think he was going for like an RNG double, which I have never seen. So
And
nice
he
bench.
will just decide to take that bench to heal up there because this next section, we'll be seeing more double damage enemies, and this time in the form of siblings on the sibling climb.
Synchronized.
Synchronized, but unfortunately 20 seconds apart on the timer.
Correct. Literally nothing you could do. This is just time loss that you have to accept, and everyone has to accept, where you just have to wait for the stag to show up. He's
Yeah.
old and he, needs to get there.
It is there. It is funny that there's only throughout the speedrun in Hollow Knight, other than loads which are removed, there's only, excuse me, a few situations where there's literally nothing to do in the game.
Balder
Um,
RNG.
yeah, Balder RNG. You just. I mean, even with the Baldy, you can jump and pretend to hit spits.
Could have
I
some
think
fun.
there's a. I'm trying to think. Is it no main menu storage? I believe the any percent route. We hit the lever going to resting grounds, but we have the floatability, so we just have to stand there and wait for the door to open. Maybe the animation's just longer on that patch because it is run on an even older patch. But yeah, it's just one of the few points we're actually just standing still and waiting for a neat little animation.
Yeah. In current patch, I believe the timer does not stop on the mask falling and disappearing, because it doesn't on 1221, because we can skip
Right,
it.
right.
So that's just also just time loss everybody has to accept in current patch.
Yeah, they were actually discussing. Oh, Monster taking that double damage, showing off why he chose to show on Deviltifa as well. Why you really want to be on 5 health going
Yeah.
into this section because these shades can drift away from their spawn points randomly.
Yeah, their
So
spawn
there's
points
no
are
way to.
fixed, but their drift is random.
Yeah.
So
So
sometimes they will just allow you to do what you want, but that's very rare. And I've definitely, it's been, if I did not take damage, more than likely I played it so safe that I lost time. So
My goodness. Sorry for the yawn there. This is a very interesting race. It just happens to be 5 a.m. where I live.
8 a.m. Not slept yet. I will say here,
Oh my
the
goodness.
second that you dip your toe in the void or whatever, you save and quit out, and you get to avoid the very long, painful animation, but you still collect Shade Cloak. Also, I didn't see if Deviltifa did. I know Monster did because I heard it. If you Dream Nail upon entering, I guess, loading in the game, you get early control and can just run immediately, which is nice.
And while you notice the important details like that, I will continue to observe the timer and say that Deviltifa has been, I mean, right on. He was leading Monsta in the first half of the race, and he's been right on his heels
Yeah,
for the
both runners are
entirety
playing
of the
very
rest.
well.
Yeah, I will be interested to see just what time this race finishes at, because yeah, I don't think I've seen a Monsta finish a 52 before. So if both runners were to get a 51 here, that really would be an incredible time for both of them.
And I watched the whole thing. I could instantly verify it.
Yep.
Fun fact: this animation here, if you wraiths not in the center, it drags you towards the middle, and it's incredibly slow. So just C dashing in and wings up to the middle is technically faster, even though it doesn't seem so.
Yeah.
And now we get to a scary but fun moment of the run, Abyss Climb.
Hmm. And we'll see probably Monsta go for a triple spike pogo, which is the most fun section of the Abyss climb to me
Ooh,
and to most viewers watching. Just going up straight up vertically across these spikes that to most players would, yeah,
like
right
so.
there. Would most players would pose a threat, but to experienced Abyss climbers are in fact traversable terrain.
That was
Both runners go for it.
very clean.
Excellent.
One little mess up from
Mm.
Monsta, and I think one little mess up from Deviltifa as well.
Hmm.
Very, very nice. You can clearly tell that this is where we spend most of our time in this run.
Yeah.
Practicing.
Yeah, a lot of factors can go into that. An entire leaderboard being set up on the modded section of the game, to for people to compete and compare their times.
Yep. So now we get to finish the game. We have fulfilled our requirement of collecting all skills in the game. And now we get to go fight THK. We do not obviously fight Radiance. We do not get Void Heart. Um, and this is going to be the first and only time we get to use Shriek because we have it, and it's super powerful.
Hmm. We see Monster get some early control, which I'm sure both runners have been going for throughout the run. We just didn't have too much opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Vanderbug
Unleashing
twice.
Minderbug. I mean,
Okay,
if this PBs, I mean, it's truly blessed to be able to PB against a top runner, or well, in just one of the
in a
highest tension settings.
in a race. I mean, to be fair, like also, not to say this is the case, but especially going into a race, knowing you're the underdog, you kind of have nothing to lose, if that makes sense. So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, just race against yourself, and if you can beat your own time, that will definitely bring you a lot closer to.
Oh, I love this C dash wiggle or C dash Cyclone Slash.
Yeah, getting both those chains at once there is quite difficult. I've experimented with it a little bit.
Ooh, almost
But
got it himself too.
yeah, there we go.
You'll be seeing a lot of like staying very close to THK in this fight.
Yeah, and with that RNG, the Knight, yeah, just like that, the Hollow Knight can just teleport out of Shriek hits, or it can just decide to dash through it and face tank it just to hit you. So as a result, this fight can be very face tanky. Monster just barely getting his Shade Cloak off in time for that parry. Um,
Oh my god, synchronized again. I love the synchronizations. Oh, was that Final Scream? Monster's Final Scream. Should kill here, correct. So GG's to Monster.
GG. Looks like it. Oh, I believe it's gonna barely miss the 51 mark,
It's
or below sub
5106.
51, 5106.
GG's.
Deviltifa are going to finish. Looks like
And
just maybe 30 or so seconds behind. 35, I think. Incredible race they've commentated. I'm very glad I stayed up for this.
I was close. I think it's like 20 seconds after you hold focus, something like that. I believe this is a PB for Deviltifa, which is nice.
Yeah. A sub 52 for both runners.
Very, very nice.
Very nice one.
I believe that might put Deviltifa around 11th, maybe? I'm not exactly sure. But
I
big
believe
PB.
actually that just bopped 0 out of 10th place. Let me
Oh,
check on
top
that.
10, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that 0 has a 45. So, provided
Wanna
that
mark the
Sour
list
here
down?
has not missed any verification steps, it looks like we have a new 10th place all skills run
Amazing.
in this race. And Monstah's notably would be 8 had he not been the current
He
world
would have
record holder.
he would have barely beat me.
Oh, that's true. Get bopped, Sour.
I haven't done a submitted run, but still beats me still, so
Ah. We'll be able to mark Monstah as done and then Deviltifa as done as well. So that should send an invite to both of them to join this voice chat. We will have an interview here, provided that both runners arrive. Feel free to type in chat any questions you might have for either of them. Deviltifa on the PB, Monstah on maybe what he feels like he might have wanted to do better. We definitely have to talk about that double mender bug. That's
that
for
double
sure.
mender bug was insane. Yeah. I believe that puts Monstah at 3. This is third round, so it would put him at 3-0.
3-0. Joining Dalton, or not Dalton, Dow. Joining Dow, and I believe Axe has already run.
I have no idea. I've been kind of like half watching, half not. There's so many races that happen.
With 24 races every 2 weeks, it has just been absolutely insane. With Monstah was trying to keep track of a stat sheet, and I believe he's had a little bit of help, especially from Gidge here, to keep track of all of that. Because there's just so many statistics he decided to add on there. Damage taken, deaths. The deadliest enemy has been Hornet 2, was one of the more interesting ones for me. Having killed the most runners this tournament.
Of course.
Not a huge surprise.
Hardest fight in the run, honestly, so.
Yeah. Alright, it looks like both of our runners have arrived in the Discord safely. Monstah's here. I believe Deviltifa will be joining us very quickly.
GG's.
Congratulations to both of you. Monstah on the win, Deviltifa, I believe, on the PB.
Yeah, congrats.
Thanks.
And first things first, that double mender bug was amazing to see.
Yes, two times.
I don't think I've ever seen Menderbug show up twice. He's showed up like to me twice, like in total, let alone 2 in 1 run.
I mean, it's a 1 in 50 chance, right? And then they come down the well, what, 3 times after breaking the sign the first time? It's a pretty astronomical,
yeah,
pretty astronomical odds against that happening. So
I guess first things first. What do you guys think of your runs? Obviously, Deviltifa got the PB, which is, I believe, puts him at 10th, which is pretty awesome.
Yes, I'm very happy. I train all the week, and it's very cool to PB for the race.
Yeah, it was really something special. It was great. You played very well. How about you, Monstah? How'd you feel about your run?
I got tilted by the boulder. How many splits was that?
9.
I was going to ask about that early game. It seemed a little strange.
Yeah, it was a bit tilting, but honestly, after like a Guru's Mother race, I felt like I started playing well again. Like most of my mid game went well, it went mostly well. There were a few mistakes, like on the way to. Yeah, I messed up the CP cycle. I got hit like on the way to Sanctum. But honestly, after like most of the mid game to late game went pretty well. I feel like.
Yeah, most certainly. Both getting one cycle Umu. Your Wraith's Arena scares me, Monsta. I don't understand how you even got out of it.
Oh, that Rave Serena, yeah, that was the hiccup.
I think at one point you said that the C dash was cursed and did not want to do it. I would absolutely risk the damage, not have to deal with those guys in the arena.
Nah, that C dash is cursed.
Understandable.
I guess if we want world record, we just skip that C dash then, right?
No, we just do it, right? Technically faster, right? Even by a little bit.
Oh, more RNG. Feels good.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else. Slurrent wants to know from Deviltifa, how are you so cool? And Monsta too. It's like the only question we really got.
I just run the game.
Tifa? I'll blame your coolness on you being French. I believe that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, unless you guys want something else or have something else to say.
I was just going to ask whether Tifa knew that he was in the lead after that Balder and maintained that, or whether he. I'm not sure we have Tifa still connected here. Listen, but
No, I didn't know where we are on the race.
yeah, I believe you were leading up until the Soul Master fight.
No, I believe he was still ahead during the Soul Master fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's possible. But Monster was a significant amount of time.
That might have been where Monsta took the lead again, but I think it was. Yeah, I think Monsta did take the lead. I think you were right, actually. I think they swapped times from Deviltifa being ahead by 4 and then Monsta being ahead by 4 afterwards. But yeah. So I'm going to check. Is there any other races happening today?
Weekends are usually stuffed with races.
Definitely.
I mean, I have one in less than 24 hours. Whether you'd consider midnight EST today or tomorrow is up to you.
It's a good point. I think we have a race literally going on right now. April versus Purple, and we have one, two, three more matches. I read Sunday as Saturday. We have four more matches if you include April versus Purple. So yeah, weekends are definitely full of content. So
I will have to thank Sour for filling in on the commentary in place of our friend Palm. Did work out very well. Very pleased to have you.
no problem. Thanks for co-commentating and thanks for racing, both of you. It was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, thank you to our volunteer for helping make sure that we have Sour's information there, both in the on screen and in the commands. So, shout outs to the volunteers for speed gaming.
Yep. I believe that's it. If I speak now or forever hold your peace, I guess. GG's and good luck on your next races, I suppose.
Yes, good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.